How to turn heartbreak into your biggest comeback. Read that again, no pity party. You got dumped over a lukewarm coffee at Starbucks. She soft-launched a new guy at a Lakers game. Your texts sit on delivered, blocked on Instagram. Your name removed from the Thanksgiving plan like you never existed. That sting in your chest, that's not love. That's a loss of respect hitting you like a New York subway at full speed. And you feel it. Your boys know, your mom senses it. And every time you open Hinge, it's like the universe is laughing. Humiliation, silence, empty apartment. Her hoodie still on the chair. You can almost hear the group chat jokes. Good. Feel it. Then use it. Because this is where men are forged. Tonight I'm handing you the American playbook for the post-breakup comeback. The Godfather-level strategy to pull your power back, cut the chaos, and rebuild your frame so hard that your ex, your boss, and your reflection all respond with respect. We'll flip heartbreak into horsepower, discipline, mission, money, body, status, step by step. No therapy fluff, logic, leverage, and action. You will learn why she lost respect, how to shut off the bleeding, and how to return with quiet strength that makes noise without saying a word. Before we dive in, subscribe right now. In the first pinned comment, I'm leaving a free field manual to go deeper, scripts, routines, and the exact protocol to execute this week. Understand, comebacks aren't about texting her at midnight or playing detective on her stories. They're about building a life so solid that silence becomes your loudest statement. The next move decides everything. Most men won't make it in time. What's the one ruthless step you must take in the next 24 hours that flips the power back to you? Think carefully, because if you miss it, you stay stuck. You want the ruthless step. You cut the line. You shut the valve. No contact. Clean. Total. Immediate. Not to win her back, to stop the bleeding and pull your power home. You remove her number from your favorites, unlink her from your Spotify, box the hoodie, drop it with the doorman, and walk away without a speech. You don't post a quote on Instagram. You don't send a goodbye manifesto. You disappear into your mission like a man entering a boardroom with the door locked behind him. Because the trap is right here, in the first 72 hours. You refresh her stories. You scan for clues. You stare at that Lakers photo and you convince yourself that a clever text will fix a respect problem. It won't. You do not stalk from a burner account while pretending you're just checking. You do not trail her friends on Venmo to see who paid for what. You do not re-watch old Snap memories at 1:17 a.m. like a ghost in your own apartment. That's not love. That's bargaining with denial. You do not beg. You do not send the long paragraph, the "we can work this out," the apology for things you didn't do. The moment you chase, you confirm her decision. The moment you plead, you become the man she was afraid you were becoming. You do not show up at her building with flowers. You do not book a last-minute flight to LAX because her roommate said she's confused. You hold your frame like a man who understands one cold fact. Attraction follows strength, not speeches. You do not humiliate yourself. You don't hover in her DMs, reacting with a fire emoji like a high schooler. You don't call her mom. You don't ask for updates from mutuals. You do not forward her song on Spotify with "remember" scribbled like a note passed in homeroom. Your name is not a raffle ticket for a second chance. Your life is not a waiting room. You do not drink and text. You don't numb the sting with bourbon and then hand your future to autocorrect. You don't become the guy the bartender knows by first name within a week. You don't hand your discipline over to the night. You put the bottle down, you put the phone face down, you go to bed at a soldier's hour, and you wake before the sun with a plan written in ink. You do not become her friend. That word is a velvet rope to keep you outside. It's a hold pattern. It keeps your power on her table, your time in her orbit, your hope on life support. You don't accept Sunday recaps about her week while she explores new men on Saturday. You step out of the friend zone like a man stepping out of a burning building, with urgency, without looking back. Let's talk truth. Respect isn't lost in a day. It erodes in quiet disloyalties to yourself. You stopped leading the date. You hedged your ambition. You let comfort win 3 nights a week. She didn't wake up one morning and choose the exit. She watched you drift, and when a ship drifts, the harbor doesn't move to meet it. You will be tempted to argue with this. Don't. Use it. Silence is a weapon when your life makes noise. So make your life loud in the right places. You clean the apartment until it smells like cedar and new decisions. You stack your calendar, gym, work block, skill block, network. You move your body until the anxiety has to chase you to keep up. You lift not for revenge but for respect in the mirror. You choose iron over idle scrolling, green over grease, water over whiskey. You put your phone in a drawer during deep work, and you earn the right to look yourself in the eye at night. I know a man who did this without a speech. Daniel. Brooklyn-born, software guy, mid-level, quiet. Got dropped over falafel on a Tuesday. She said he'd become predictable, which is New York for you fell asleep on your edge. For a week he spiraled, dug through her likes, DM'd her cousin, slept in her hoodie like a kid at summer camp who missed home. Then something snapped. He walked to the East River at 6 a.m., phone on airplane mode, and he made a private deal. 90 days, no contact, no alcohol, no gossip. He moved the couch, painted the wall, tossed the sentimental clutter. He found a boxing gym on Flatbush and got punched in the mouth by reality. He took the 7:05 class, showered, hit code reviews at 9 sharp and stayed till he solved hard problems. He ate like an adult. He called his dad back. He got a mentor on LinkedIn who gave him one line: stop chasing titles, chase competence. He learned Kubernetes and shut up about it. 6 weeks in, his manager noticed. 8 weeks in, he led a client demo and didn't flinch. 10 weeks in, she texted, "How have you been?" He didn't reply. Not from anger, from direction. At 90 days, he had a new role, a calmer face, and a Saturday squad that wasn't built on heartbreak but on iron, code, and coffee. When she saw him at a rooftop in Williamsburg, broad shoulders, quiet eyes, ring light glow on everyone else, but not on him, she hovered. He listened. He smiled. He left with his boys, not a stunt, a standard. Daniel didn't become colder. He became unavailable to the version of himself that needed approval. That's the comeback. Silent, visible, unbothered. You want codes? Here are the ones you tattoo on your day, not your skin. Silence is strategy, not surrender. Never chase what disrespects your frame. Build first, broadcast never. Control the habit, and you control the outcome. Replace comfort with mission every time. Ask yourself a brutal question. If a camera followed you for 24 hours this week, would a jury of men you respect deliver a verdict of discipline or distraction? This isn't motivational poster talk. This is evidence. You either stack proof or you stack excuses. Which pile will you bring to court? Here's the turn you don't expect. The pain you feel is leverage. It is gasoline waiting for an engine. Without a plan, you pour it on yourself. With a plan, you pour it into your drive. So you design a 30-day execution window. Morning routine that survives any city. Wake clean, make bed tight, hydrate, sunlight, 45 minutes of sweat. Work with focus blocks. 50 on, 10 off, no social. One skill you monetize, one relationship you deepen that has nothing to do with dating. You build a network like a chessboard, not a casino. Founders meet up on Tuesday, jiu-jitsu on Thursday, a call with an old coach on Sunday. You upgrade your look without peacocking. Get a proper cut, fix your posture, buy one pair of shoes that doesn't apologize for itself. You move like a man who makes decisions once. But what if she calls? Good. Now we test your frame. You don't sprint to the phone. You don't ignore it out of spite either. You let it ring. You let the emotion cool. You look at the calendar where your mission is written, and you decide from standard, not from nostalgia. Do you want closure? Closure is code for one more conversation that reopens the wound. Do you want to be friends? You already have friends. Do you want to rebuild? That requires a new contract with yourself first. Without that, you're just repainting a sinking boat. Hold this thought. In a minute, I'll show you the sentence that ends her access without turning you into a villain. There will be tests from your world, not just from her. Your boys will bait you with shots. Your feed will bait you with her new photos. Your mind will bait you with just one check. When that urge hits, you don't white-knuckle it. You redirect. 10 push-ups. 1 page of notes. Cold shower. Walk outside and breathe until the compulsion doesn't own you. Replace the loop. Men aren't machines, but we can program our defaults. You write your code with repetition, not with speeches. Understand this about America's dating market. Options inflate egos. Algorithms reward attention. Attention is a currency. The man who chases pays tax. The man who builds gets paid. Scarcity isn't a game you play with her. It's a standard you live. When your calendar is full of purpose, your silence carries weight. When your evenings are filled with iron, study, and a table of good men, your phone becomes a tool, not a leash. Provocation. What if your heartbreak is the cleanest audit of your life you'll ever get? What did it reveal? Your lack of mission, your loose boundaries, your comfort addictions. Good. Fix the audited items and watch your entire life reprice. That's how promotions happen. That's how your body recomposes. That's how your posture changes in a room. That's how you become the man women notice without you trying to be noticed. Remember Daniel on that rooftop. He didn't orchestrate a revenge scene. He embodied a new baseline. He learned the art of being seen by the right people for the right reasons. Performance, presence, principle. That trinity is rare. That rarity is attractive. Not because it seeks validation, but because it has options and standards. You came here for a comeback, not a consolation. So you will cut the line. You will stop the leaking behaviors. You will build the life that makes noise. And you will protect it with codes, not moods. The next time someone thinks of removing your name from their plans, they will hesitate, not out of fear, but because your presence carries weight and your absence has a cost. One last reset before we hand you the final play. What happens when she circles back with the apology? What do you say when a new woman tests your boundary on date 2? How do you negotiate your standard at work without sounding like a child asking for recess? In the conclusion, we deliver the verdict, the exact phrases, the final posture, the sentence that closes the past and opens the door you've been building in silence. Stay sharp. The final word is coming. You want the final word? You want the phrase that closes the wound and opens the next door? Here it goes. Thank you for reaching out. I wish you well, but I have other things to focus on now. Delivered calm, unshaken, and with your eyes on your own horizon. No monologue, no drama, no secret hope for a cliffhanger, just a line drawn, once and for all, in New York concrete. This is not vindictive, it's final, because the comeback isn't revenge, it's reinvention. The word you carry forward, the concept tattooed on this whole process, is sovereignty. The American kind, the kind that built skylines and won rings and doesn't put its worth depending on someone else's validation or invitation. Your life, your rules, not hers, not your ex's new guy, not your Instagram feed, yours. That's sovereignty. Own it or you're owned. Let's nail down the codes by which men, real men, rise again after heartbreak on American soil, from the streets of Brooklyn to downtown LA, from Southside gyms to Silicon Valley startups. Silence is not retreat. It's a trigger for respect. If you must speak, speak with action. The sound of plates on the squat rack, the click of code deploying, the thud of new shoes on subway steps. Never, ever chase what diminished your frame. Not a text, not a glance, not even a memory. What you tolerate, you endorse. What you broadcast, you spend. Talk less, do more, control your habits, wake, eat, train, work, and you control the scoreboard by which your life is measured. Purpose, not comfort. Mission, not cheap dopamine. Your nights belong to iron and new ideas, not the bottom of a glass or a doom scroll. If Daniel from Brooklyn, or any man you respect, your uncle, your neighbor, your mentor, shadowed your day for a week, would they see a sovereign or a ghost? Be brutal, be surgical. Look yourself in the mirror when the house is quiet and the city lights flicker outside your window. Is your routine ironclad, or are you letting the past rent space in your present? Men build their reputations, brick by brick, habit by habit, in the silence of their own discipline. What are you building? Because your silence is only powerful if your life is worth paying attention to. Here's where most falter. They cut contact, but their calendar is a void. They block her on Instagram, but their habits rot from within. Sovereignty isn't what you detach from, it's what you attach to: purpose, money, status, a mission that makes you sweat and bleed and grow. Daniel didn't just walk away. He stepped into a harder ring, a more demanding gym, a tighter circle. When you replace comfort with challenge, When you trade nostalgia for a bulletproof plan, you stop being haunted and start being hunted. For your value, for your presence, for the gravity you bring into any room. So here's your provocation. You finish this video, you close the tab and you stare in the bathroom mirror, not for vanity but for audit. What does your reflection owe you? An apology or a handshake for surviving and coming back stronger? The truth is, you can fool your friends, your boss, the group chat, even your new matches. But you will not fool the man in the mirror. If you shy from this audit, you just surrendered your comeback. Which is it? Discipline or distraction? Sovereignty or slavery to old cycles? The next 30 days are your evidence. Stack proof. Silence her memory with results no one can ignore. If this hit where it needed to, don't be the guy who nods and disappears. Subscribe. Click like so you mark the day you started acting, not talking. Drop a comment. Sovereignty if you're in. And if you need the field manual, it's in the pinned comment. No fluff, just facts. Here's my last decree, burned like a brand for the men who get it. In America, power never begs to be invited. Power builds, walks alone, and makes the world come correct. You lost her, but you rebuilt yourself. That's the only win that matters. Don't ever let your name be easy to erase again. That's an order. Now go write your next scene.